thank you for tuning into Tanaka TV, the best and future biggest fight channel on YouTube. Don't forget to hit that like, that comment, that subscribe button. We're trying to get this channel to over 2K subs by the end of the year, and we cannot do that. This channel cannot do that without your support. So thank you for those who support this channel, and thank you for those who will support this channel in the future. I truly appreciate it. Now, we all have seen the news by now that Dan Hooker pulled out with his fight against Justin Gaethje. Now, I'm gonna be real, people. That was terrible news, okay? Like, the violence that we were gonna see between those two gentlemen would have been legendary. But now we have Fizeiv stepping in for Dan Hooker. So now we've got Fizeiv versus Justin Gaethje rematch. Now, I was scrolling through the comments, people, and I saw that a lot of people were disappointed about this matchup. And sure, there could have been, maybe there could have been better options. Maybe. I know some people were saying maybe like a Dustin Poirier being an option, and maybe like a Topuria coming in as an option. I understand all of that. However, me personally, I am not disappointed about this particular matchup. And sure, they fought before, but do we remember the first fight? Maybe we'll get the same result. I don't know. I think that this is a little bit of a different situation, and maybe it doesn't lean in the favor of Fizeiv. However, that first fight was amazing. It was. And I wouldn't say it was super close, but it was competitive. It was competitive. And we have to look at the stylistic matchup between these two. I don't think we're ever going to get a boring fight out of this. And Fizeiv is not a pushover. We tend to forget how good a fighter is after they've lost to a person maybe like Justin Gaethje, maybe like Gamrot, which is who Fizeiv fought. I believe he fought last. Yes, he lost to Gamrot last in 2023. So it's been a little bit. It's been about a year and a half since Fizeiv has stepped into the octagon. And then on Justin Gaethje's part, the last person he fought was Max. Ooh, that Max Holloway fight. Oh my God. The knockout heard around the world. That happened. Dang. That happened a year ago. Time is flying. Damn. That happened a year ago? April 13th? Already? God. That's crazy. But before that loss, right? Justin Gaethje had beaten Dustin Poirier, Rafael Fizeiv. He lost to Charles Oliveira and beat Michael Chandler. So he's been going up against some killers. He really has. But the people that Fizeiv has beaten, you see, he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold up. 6 wins straight. He beat Dos Anjos, Brad Riddell, King Green. I don't know. That name will never sound great to me. I'm just going to be real, people. King Green. Why'd you change? Anyways. Moicano. Those are probably the more notable mentions out of the people he's fought. So not on the same, I wouldn't say that his fight record is on the same level. I do think that Fizeiv has a lot to prove, but how much time does Fizeiv have to prove? How old is he? He was born in 93, so he's 32. Okay, so Fizeiv is now in his prime, if all things are running smoothly. He's got a solid 3 years left of prime time Fizeiv. If Fizeiv is going to go on a title run and actually become an actual contender, now is that time, and it starts with Justin Gaethje. And I know that this is short notice. I know these men are supposed to fight on the 8th. We are at the 5th. We are in March 5th, and they're supposed to fight in 3 days. So this is a very short notice fight. We heard about Dan Hooker pulling out what? That was maybe a week and a half ago. So I don't think that does play in Fizeiv's favor unless Fizeiv is one of those guys that stays in shape. He stays ready to fight. But a lot of dudes don't. And yeah, a game plan does come into play. It does come into play. And so that's why I always say when a person drops out of a fight, you take the fitness aspect out, which is a huge, that is a huge deal. I get that. But he has to make a completely different game plan for a completely different fighter. So it's a reset for both gentlemen. Now, it's a bigger reset for, obviously, Fizeiv because he has to come in and be as in good of a fight shape as possible and create a game plan against a guy that beat him. The odds aren't in his favor. So I don't know, y'all. If I had to choose a winner for this fight, I'm going to be honest. I want to choose Fizeiv. I really like Fizeiv. I like his ability to come into fights and fight dudes. He really does. Like again, people sleep on him because of him losing to Gamrot. Gamrot. Okay? He's not losing to Joe Blow. He's not losing to the Meltman down the street. He lost to Gamrot and Justin Gaethje. Those are some big people to lose to. And I think, honestly, he has the ability to get over those hurdles. But coming in on a 2 weeks notice, I don't think that's it. I don't think that's a great way to put yourself in a position for championship contention. He might shock the world, because let's put it this way. If he does beat Justin Gaethje on short notice, he beams up. He jumps up the ladder of contention. He really does. But that's a big but. So it's in Justin Gaethje's favor because he's fighting a dude that he's fought before, that he's beat before, and he's in fight shape. But Justin Gaethje has been looking a little bit slow, a tad bit slower. But I can't judge that based off of one fight, off of one loss against Max Holloway. We'll see how he comes into this fight. But I'm going to choose Justin Gaethje based off of the fact that he's been in a training camp. Sure, it wasn't for Fizeiv, it was for Dan Hooker. But because he's going to be more conditioned, which I think is going to be a huge factor in this fight. It was a huge factor in their first fight. It was a very high-paced fight, a very violent fight, and being in shape comes into play. So I'm going to go with Justin Gaethje. I think Justin Gaethje does have a possibility of finishing this fight. But we'll see. I think if I had to choose, I think I'll say Justin Gaethje finishes this fight somewhere maybe round 3 or 4, depending on how many rounds this fight goes. If it's a 3-round fight, then it ends in 3, and maybe it's it goes into decision, or he finishes him in round 3. If not, and it's a 5-round fight, then I'm gonna go with Justin Gaethje finishing Fizeiv in the 4th round. That's how I see this fight going. Comment down below, people, what you think about this matchup. I know a lot of you were not. Again, a lot of you were not looking forward to this. But I happen to be one of those people that like a good matchup, whether they fought before or not. And this is a good matchup. So comment down below your thoughts, people, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.